When the legendary hero Gilgamesh made his celebrated journey to meet the last survivor of the Great Flood, he was met with trees of precious gems, strange animal hybrid creatures, and the vast waters of death. These were peculiar lands at the far reaches of the earth, unseen by most and undoubtedly unverifiable. The average Mesopotamian couldn't verify much of anything regarding geography, and most of what was known came from scholars and scribes who incorporated what they knew about the earth into hymns, legends, and treatises. The evidence about Mesopotamian conceptions of geography is fragmentary, but what does survive provides a dynamic and enticing picture of the physical world as the Mesopotamians conceived it. Given the material available to us, it is clear the Mesopotamians thought of the world as a flat circle of land surrounded by a great ocean. The so-called Babylonian map of the world, which likely originates from 9th century BC Assyria, is most important in this regard. In it, we can see the most straightforward representation of the earth. A great circle with the labeled cities of Babylon, Der, and Susa, mountains bordering to the side, and the lands of Assyria and Urartu neatly placed in the north. The swamps by the Persian Gulf and the Euphrates River blend into the mighty encircling ocean, or Maratu at the fringe. It is not accurate proportionally, but that was probably not the point. Another first millennium source, the Sargon geography, matches what is known from the world map well. Most importantly, it records distances between historical locations, spanning the entire length of the map, and it expresses the idea of a sea that encircles the central landmass. Much earlier royal inscriptions from the 3rd millennium reinforce the ideas contained in both these texts, and provide some assurance that Mesopotamians held similar conceptions about geography across time. The cosmic ocean was a mysterious, vast expanse, mainly revealed by literary and legendary tales. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, Tablet 10, the title character is ferried across the ocean to the land of the flood hero by Urshanbi. Here, he encounters the waters of death, which Urshanbi traverses using a long pole to push against the bottom of the sea. This is just one tradition, but it raises interesting questions about this great ocean. Is it connected to any other levels of the universe? Where does it end? How deep is it? Subsequent tablets of the Gilgamesh epic show that Gilgamesh can swim to the underworldly realm of the Apsu, where the god Ea dwells, from the ocean. This notion is supported by further evidence that connects groundwater with the deep waters of the Apsu. The Era epic envisions the ocean as a near bottomless expanse, but this conflicts with the idea that one can swim into the Apsu from the bottom. We should probably make a distinguishment between the ocean as portrayed in myth and descriptive texts, but this makes it difficult to say much definitively. Given our evidence, it is fair to say the Muratu was seen as a very expansive, little-known place, and a point of connection with the Apsu. Though the large landmass, and to some degree the Great Ocean, were reasonably well known by Mesopotamian geographers, the islands amid the Great Sea were a matter of much greater speculation. According to the Babylonian map of the world, there are at least 5 Nagu, or islands, that are beyond the sea. These are home to strange flora and fauna, little-known locales where things are not as you would expect them to be. One is known as the place where the sun doesn't shine, while the others include horned cattle and heights too high for winged birds. These are liminal spaces between the regular natural and the irregular supernatural. The further one drifts from the civilized center of the world, the more danger and fantasticality will abound. These are often the places of myth, but some of the Nagu were rooted in historical reality. Dilmun, Magan, and Maluha are excellent examples of reality turned legend through time and distance. Once great trading partners of the Sumerians across the sea, they were temporarily disengaged in the 2nd millennium and incorporated into literary works and omens. Contact would resume in the late 2nd millennium and continue into the Neo-Assyrian period, but these lands retained their legendary connections from before. These spaces brimmed with natural splendor. Only accessible across the sea, they were canvases for great scribes and visionary peasants' imaginations. Further still from the realm of certainty lay the very edges of the earth. The textual record presents three options for what could be here: the Great Ocean, a ring of mountains, or ambiguity. However, all texts seem to agree that the earth ends where the sun rises and sets, which is the prerogative of the sun god Shamash. At these junctures, the dome, or circle of the sky, meets with the earth, and it is impossible for humans to move beyond. Particularly relevant in this context are the words of the Shamash hymn: to distant stretches which are not known and uncounted leagues, Shamash you work ceaselessly, going by day and returning by night. Many traditions may have hazarded a guess at what was out beyond the great expanse of the ocean, but it was ultimately unknown. Even if the Mesopotamians could not know what was at the edge, they might still be able to calculate how far the edges were apart. The question of distance is one that many tablets answer, but rarely on a large scale. Astronomical texts recording the distances between the highest points of stars clue at an answer, however. One AO 6478 in particular indicates that the Earth's diameter may be 218,400 leagues. This seems a plausible belief, but it does not match up well with the Sargon geography and the Babylonian map of the world, which record much smaller distances for countries on the order of dozens of leagues. There does not seem to be a clear answer to the Earth's size and the material, which was more often concerned with small land tracts and local borders. In the end, it is impossible to know the whole reality of what the Mesopotamians believed about geography, but what we have gives us samplings of an interminably complex and conflicting set of ideas. Most of what we possess regarding Mesopotamian geography is highly fragmentary or literary, and it comes with no guarantees. The Babylonian map of the world, the Enuma Elish, and the Sargon geography surely reflected the views of quite a few people, but contradicted others. When considering the whole span of Mesopotamian history, it is only possible to hazard a few general statements. Even then, they may prove wrong. What I have presented here has hopefully provided a few insights into this complex, contradictory, and vast world of geography. If you found this video informative, make sure to subscribe, and let me know your ideas for future videos in the comments below.